Hiya, Georgie!
Well, yeah, so yeah, did this really scare you in such a way? So, yeah, let me see if I can get my glasses on. Go, whew, okay, that's actually much better. So, yeah, did that really scare you guys? So, yeah, if it did, then I guess you can kind of see where I'm getting at. So, yeah. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and, well, we're returning back to our roots, yeah. So yeah, after quite a long time since last month, since the previous thoughts video that I did, where of course I talked about a movie in theaters, I've of course returned to my routes to of course finally see movies in theaters as usual. So, yeah, and I guess you can pretty much tell by the makeup job that I just did. I think it is very clear on what exactly I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, I think pretty much as a subtle way to actually tell you this, yeah, I think, yeah, like I said, given to the makeup job that I've of course decided to show off to you. So yeah, I think it's very clear that I am going to be talking about It Chapter 2. So yeah, this oddly enough came out just right around a few weeks ago, and I did manage to go see it just right around earlier today, and yeah, and for those who do not know, it is of course a continuation on the 2017 It movie that came out a couple of years ago, and it is of course based on the book by the same name by author Stephen King. So yeah, I guess you could kind of see where I'm getting at, where I actually said those two things in particular. Now, before I can actually talk about this movie in general, let me get a couple things to get out of the way. One is that I don't hate Stephen King. I know he has written a lot of really great stories, some of which have become timeless classics and stuff, including but not limited to the following, which is Pet Sematary, The Shining, Misery, Shawshank Redemption, and of course, It. So yeah, I guess you can kind of see where It is going for. See what I did there, So yeah, and the second thing I need to mention is that I, of course, need to talk about the previous It movies that came out before. To start with is, of course, the TV miniseries that I saw, which starred Tim Curry. So yeah, to describe it in words, I actually thought it was goofy, campy, and pretty awkward at the same time, but it's not without some redeeming qualities. Like, I really love the kids in the first half, and of course Tim Curry's an absolute riot as the infamous clown Pennywise. So yeah, and of course I did crack up when he actually went with the whole wah-ha, 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 wah-ha. So yeah, I guess you could kind of see where I'm getting at, and of course the movie that's in relation to the one I'm talking about right about now is, of course, the 2017 film adaptation of It, which stars Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, to which you can tell by this makeup job that I just pulled off for you guys. So yeah, in case you want to know what I actually thought about it, I actually did see it recently to prep up for this movie, and if you want to know my thoughts on this one, I actually loved it. Yeah, I thought the actors pulled off some great performances. There were some really awesome scares, some fun ideas, and the tone and the atmosphere, I have to say, is really spot on. So yeah, to describe it in words, I absolutely love the 2017 It movie, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's actually a legitimately really scary movie, and I really recommend it to all of you guys if you haven't seen it yet. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can easily describe it. Oh wow. I don't know if some of the makeup got into my mouth, but I can tell some of it is going to be running by the time this video continues on. Boy, it's going to be an awkward cleanup after this. So So yeah, now that I, of course, finally got those two out of the way just to make things a whole lot more clear, I think it makes sense if I go ahead and talk about the this recent movie that came out, which is, of course, Chapter 2, which actually does serve as mainly the continuation to the 2017 version. So yeah, like I said, I did manage to go see it very recently, and if you want to know my full-on thoughts on this one, well, I guess I will say, I think pretty much after seeing this movie, what do I think of it in a nutshell? Well, believe it or not, I just wish it could have been a whole lot more scarier, but it's not bad in my opinion, So yeah, I have to say, the recent It movie that came out very recently, it's not bad in my opinion, but I just wish it could have been a whole lot more scarier. So I guess it's pretty much my way of saying that it's pretty much okay in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much how I could easily describe this movie in a nutshell. So yeah, I think for starters, I think we might as well go ahead and start off with one of the most important things is, of course, the story. So yeah, I think if you have, of course, known the 2017 It movie, or even read the book by the same name, I think it's pretty much to describe the whole plot of Chapter 2 in a nutshell, I think it's pretty much exactly how it's played out in the book, just basically taking place several years after the events of the first part of the story, where the Losers Club, that are now adults, officially come back to Derry, Maine to actually try and defeat Pennywise once and for all. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much that's it in a nutshell. Just the Losers Club now as adults coming back to Derry, Maine to actually to of course finish the job, which is of course defeat Pennywise, and you can pretty much see where it goes from there. So yeah, I think pretty much story-wise, it's actually pretty well structured, and believe it or not, it's actually played out like it happened in both the miniseries and, of course, the original book. So of course, with the recent movies that came out, it makes sense to actually divide them up into two different parts, in a nutshell. Because I think from what I can recall, I think I do know the original book. I never read it in particular, but I do know the ins and outs of it, and it's about the size of the Bible, for crying out loud. So naturally, this makes much more sense to actually divide it up in two different movies, so that way we wouldn't have to waste about, what, 4-5 hours of what we had to witness to them. So yeah, I think pretty much story-wise, it's actually pretty good, and it actually does a really good job picking up after the events of the first It movie, just to see where it goes from there. And I think it's pretty much about that in a nutshell. So yeah, story-wise, I think it's actually pretty good. I think it's really got some really great ideas that it wants to tackle. So yeah, and of course the characters, I have to say, they're actually I think they're actually not that bad in my opinion. Yeah, but I think my main problem I have with the characters is that I just wish that maybe some of them could have been a little bit more invested with what they're trying to do. But that's not to say that I think it's pretty much not what I think it's pretty much man, I'm still having a hard time starting out my words on them. But yeah, I think it's not saying that the actors actually pull off some pretty good performances, as in this movie they actually really do. I think yeah, pretty much all the actors actually pulled off some pretty good performances from what I had to witness. Is that believe it or not, I think I pretty much like how I felt with the first It movie. I really enjoyed Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Just pretty much having him come in to not only be incredibly funny, but also incredibly creepy at the same time. So So yeah, and of course, whenever you see this guy as a full-on clown, I guess you can pretty much see where I think you can pretty much see on how it's going to play out. It's actually not only going to be incredibly funny, but also pretty creepy at the same time. So, yeah, and yeah, pretty much much like how I felt with the first It movie, I thought Bill Skarsgård does an excellent job as Pennywise in this, and not only that, some of the other actors in this, especially the Losers Club that are now adults now, I have to say they do pull off some pretty good performances. Like of course, I really love James McAvoy as Bill, and Bill Hader as good old Richie. I think they really did a really great job on these two characters, and they actually did do a fine job on it from what I have to see. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much what I have to say. Kind of thought I was feeling a piece of popcorn that's stuck in my throat, so sorry about that. Yeah, I guess pretty much the other aspects that I have to say, I will have to say this film actually does have some really good direction, and not to mention the tone and the atmosphere, I have to say, is actually pretty good in my opinion. I think it's actually pretty spot on from what I have to say, and not to mention it's even mixed in with some really great cinematography and some really great editing from what I had to see. And believe it or not, I think pretty much most of the scares that occurred in this movie, I have to say, is actually some of them are actually pretty good. Like, I actually did get frightened when I actually see them in the movie theater. I end up having to turn away just because of how scary it is. So yeah, I guess you can kind of see where I'm getting at by this point. But granted, it's a horror movie, so it's guaranteed to have some scares. So there's that. Alright. Man, I surely hope I'm not breathing in the makeup right about now. So yeah, I just hope I won't die of suffocation from what I had to from all this. So yeah, or even better yet, I think I surely hope I won't die from so much toxic airing. So yeah, like I said, it's gonna be an awkward cleanup after this. So yeah, I think it's pretty much all the stuff that I mentioned. Those are some things that I really love about this movie in a nutshell. So I bet all of you are wondering, what are some things that I found fault with this movie? Well, pretty much as I stated with the story, I think pretty much writing-wise, I just don't think it's actually pretty well structured for me. Yeah, like I said, the story itself is fine on its own, but writing-wise, but the writing, I have to say, I think it's pretty much hard to come by when at a first glance of it. So I think I pretty much have to say, so yeah, I guess pretty much the writing, I have to say, I think it's very complicated to say. It's some of them are. Some of the stuff that's written for this movie, I just don't think are actually worked. And I think one thing I should mention too is that I know I mentioned before about some of the scares in it being actually pretty good, but the rest I have to say, I think they're just kind of lackluster in my opinion. So I just don't think there's actually that great about them. Like they're almost non-existent. We knew that they were coming, So yeah, I guess you can easily say the rest of the scares in it, I just don't think is very well structured out. And I think it's another thing too that I should point out writing-wise. I think for a while, I think pretty much trying its best to be a little bit more faithful to the original book that it's based on, which is not bad, but I think it's very hard to accomplish, and I think with this film, it's just not really that grand in my opinion. Like you gotta do some stuff that are different in order to be good. That's what makes adaptations do fine. But if you try to be a little bit more faithful, yeah, I think that's one thing too. If you try to be a little bit too faithful to the original source material, chances are you're not gonna accomplish that pretty well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. And not to mention, I think pretty much another complaint I have is, of course, the film's running time, which is about nearly 3 hours long, which, yeah. Now, granted, I know Avengers Endgame did incredibly well, despite that being well over 3 hours. Heck, even Titanic and Avatar seem to have fallen victim at that, but I think with this movie, in a nutshell, I just don't think it's actually a really good running time, in my opinion. Like, you could easily cut out some things and actually make it a little bit shorter, so that way it can actually flow out just fine. So yeah, that's pretty much one complaint I have with this one. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much what I have to say. Yeah, and not to mention most of the visual effects in this movie. I think some of them are actually pretty good, while the others, I have to say, I think it's actually trying too hard to actually try to feel like it's really there in a nutshell. But granted, like I said, it's not terrible in my opinion. I just wish there could have been more to it to make it pretty good. So yeah, it's pretty much what I have to say. So yeah, to give out my final thoughts on this film, overall, I think It Chapter 2, I think it could have been a whole lot more scarier with what it's trying to do, but it's not bad in a nutshell, nor is it even that great in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, I just wish there could have been a little bit more. I just wish it could have been a whole lot more scarier to actually make it stand out on its own. And heck, I would have loved it as much as I loved the first It movie from a couple of years ago, But nevertheless, I am glad that I saw it, and I did give it a fair shot, and in the end, I just don't think it's that good, nor do I think it's bad in my opinion. I guess I'm somewhere in between on this one, but I think if it's something up your alley, then I suggest you definitely check it out. I do recommend it regardless on how I feel. So yeah, I guess if it's something up your alley, then definitely go check it out. I won't mind one bit. So yeah, to give out my final score on this one, I'll go ahead and be fair here and give it about a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, not that great in my opinion, nor is it even terrible, just somewhere in between, but I still recommend it hands down. So yeah, that's literally about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this thoughts video, and of course, as usual, leave me a comment down below on what you thought of this movie if you have seen it, and of course, feel free to send me an email if you want to book me for a con or event or have any questions for me. And of course, follow me on my social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and many others that I have provided if you want to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases. And of course, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more videos like this. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that way you'll be notified once I upload a brand new video. So yeah, that's literally about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this special thoughts video. I know it's been a long while since I did one on a movie that I saw in theater. So hopefully, I think with the next one that I'll do, I'll probably do something good. Oh dear, it looks like my glasses are a little bit messed up. But like I said, that's pretty much awkward cleanup after this. So yeah, that's literally about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this special thoughts video. And of course, remember, we all float down here. And you will too. That's right. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. What the hell am I thinking? Oh my god, I think it just feels so much fun to do Pennywise for once. So yeah, that's literally about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.